Okay, so I almost sold my JVC apartment last week. The buyer, a nice Indian lady, loved it. We agreed on the price. She was pre-approved by the bank. Everything was smooth. I'm thinking, great, this is finally happening. Then out of nowhere, she asked me for the floor plan, not to check the measurements, but to see if it was Vastu compliant. Turns out my apartment failed the vibe check. According to her Pandit, which is a Hindu priest, the energy flow was not good enough. So after 1 week of negotiation, the deal was off because my front door apparently offended the universe. But that is Dubai real estate, never a dull moment. So here's the backstory. I've been trying to sell my apartment in JVC for a couple of weeks now. It's a great place, modern, quiet community, amazing amenities, and finally last week I found a serious buyer. She came to see the apartment twice, we negotiated and finally agreed on the price. It was pretty much all done in my head. I was already planning on how to celebrate this win with my family over the weekend, maybe on a staycation in Dubai, but that will have to wait. Because then, things took a turn I was really not expecting. As you may know if you watch my previous videos, I have been buying and selling properties across the US, France and Dubai, and recently I bought 4 properties in Dubai, 4 apartments. The interesting thing with this experience is that you really see how the different culture reflect in how a buyer approached the purchase of a property. Because this time it is my first time trying to sell to an Indian buyer. And I found the approach quite different because after seeing the property twice and agreed on the price, in most cases the deal is usually done, except if there are issues with the mortgage or further inspection. But in this case, after seeing the property twice, this lady told us that she had then to check with her mom. So I told her that her mom is welcome to see the property as well anytime, but she said that no, her mom lives in India, so she had to have some phone call with her to get a kind of approval. And bear in mind that the buyer I'm referring to is close to 40 years old and she was buying the property for her family. She even have a couple of kids. So that is the first cultural difference. So she needed a kind of discussion and approval from her parents to go ahead with a property purchase, which she got very fast by the next day. So we thought, all right, let's proceed and sign the contract now. Until suddenly she asked for the floor plan, not for the measurements, not for renovations, but to check if the apartment was Vastu compliant. Now, if you're not familiar with it, I actually learned about it very recently as well. Vastu is like an Indian feng shui. It's all about energy flows and directions and layout. And in some culture, it's a big deal. And I will be honest, I didn't even think this would come up in Dubai. But hey, I sent the floor plan and that's when everything fell apart. Her Pandit, that is a Hindu priest, analyzed the floor plan and dropped the bomb. My apartment was not fully compliant. Apparently the entrance is not in the right direction and the kitchen was in a bad zone. I don't know all the details, but it was enough for her to walk away. Just like that, after all the negotiations, the excitement gone because of Vastu. But joke apart, here is what I took away from this. Dubai's market is diverse. So I have always seen a home like just a place to live comfortably, but it can be a more spiritual decision to someone else. And before Dubai, I used to live in Singapore and Feng Shui matters more than you would think over there. And it looks like Vastu matters especially for buyers from India. And now that I think about it, it actually makes sense for me as an investor to look for the things, even before buying the place. Especially in the areas of Dubai that are popular with the Indian population, like JVC. Seriously, drop a comment. Would you reject a home over Vastu or Feng Shui? Or is this totally new to you as well? And as an investor in Dubai, checking for Vastu compliance, is it part of your checklist? Because I might add it to mine. Anyway, now I'm back to square one. Maybe my next buyer will not care about Vastu, or maybe I'll just find a buyer who just wants an apartment that breaks all the rules. So if you have ever faced something like this, or you just love Dubai real estate drama, hit like and subscribe, and let me know what crazy buyer stories you've heard. And hey, if you are looking for a slightly Vastu challenge apartment in JVC, you know where to find me. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video.